Hey everyone, this is Kevin from thechesswebsite.com. Today we're going to be continuing our series in general chess strategies that I just think everyone should know in a chess game. First video we talked about opening close games as far as pawn structure and how to play accordingly and how to recognize that very quickly. And today we're going to be going over a pretty important concept, which is bad bishops versus good bishops. And we're going to be talking about how to notice which bishops are good and bad pretty quickly, and then how to play accordingly in your game. This is something that every player should be aware of, and if you're not, this could be a very informative video for you. So one of the first things you want to look at, and we'll look at white in this situation, we'll look at the bishop on the dark square, and you want to look at where the pawns are. And so if you look at black's pawns, highlighted in green here, they're on the dark squares as well. And so white's bishop has targets on the dark squares. And you can tell on the light squares, white is not hindered and blocked in by his own pawns. And that's what you want. In this case, white's bishop is a good bishop because he has targets and he's not blocked in. On the flip side, if you look at black, you can tell that his pieces are on the same colored square. He's a dark square bishop here on b6, and he's blocked in. And white has his pawns on the light squares. So if you look at this, black cannot touch any of white's pieces, and the king can stay on light squares the entire game, and this bishop is at the moment completely useless. And white has lots of different targets here. He has all three of these different pawns that he can attack. So in this scenario, it's pretty easy to look at. There's not a lot of different pieces on the board. But in this scenario, it's very easy to see, that's why I use this illustration, which bishop is good and which one is bad. In this case, the white bishop is good because it has targets and its own pawns are not blocking itself in. So this is the first example that we'll look at. Now let's take a look at a different example and look with a few more pieces on the board, and take a minute and just think about who has the good bishop and who has the bad bishop. Now everyone may not have a good and another may have a bad, but it is good to see. So in this example, take a minute. You can pause if you want, but see which side you think has a good bishop and which one has a bad bishop. And hopefully you guys came up that black has the good bishop. As you can see, black's pawns are not restricting the movement. All black's pawns are on light squares, and the black pawn, or the black bishop can move around freely, and he has targets on white side. And white can't move anywhere because he's blocked in by his own pawns, and he has no targets from the black pawns on the light squares. So hopefully y'all saw on this example that black had the good bishop and white had the bad bishop. Now let's look at this in another chess example and see how we can practically use it so that we can move out of this and try to exploit the good and bad bishops for each side. Go ahead and look at this situation. It's black's move. Think about some of the key concepts that we've covered so far as what makes a good bishop, what makes a bad bishop, and take a minute. You can pause the video if you'd like and try to think about what black's next move should be. And hopefully you came up with the simple move bishop to g4. As you can tell looking, black's light square bishop is a bad bishop. It's blocked in by its own pawns on light squares, and he doesn't have targets. And white's light square bishop is a good bishop. It's not blocked in by its own pawns, and it has targets from black on the light squares. So black has a bad bishop, white has a good bishop, and we're trying to trade this off. As you can tell, white has nowhere to retreat. If he moves along this diagonal, he'll be taken by pawns. If he stays here, obviously we're just going to take an exchange. The only thing he can do is capture or be captured. If he does capture, we have our queen there to just recapture. And it's these subtle things. If you look at it, Someone that doesn't know much about good bishops and bad bishops may say, well, they traded equal material. But it's the subtle things like this, where we traded a bad bishop for white's good bishop, that many times can control the fate of a game. So always keep these little nuances in your mind when you're playing a chess game. This video is obviously not too long, but I did want to cover a very key concept: good and bad bishops. So anytime during your game, always be aware of good and bad bishops. Be aware, if you're looking to exchange yourself, that you're not giving up a good bishop for a piece of equal or lesser value that may not be playing as an important role. Just these small things that we're going to be going over in these videos is going to really help you guys out a lot in your chess game. So hope you guys enjoyed part 2. Got a lot more good stuff that's going to be coming out. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Helps out a lot. And I got a lot of new videos coming out, so you'll know exactly when they do come out. Also, if you haven't checked out the website, it's up and running. Got some pretty cool stuff on there that I update daily. It's just thechesswebsite.com. Pretty easy. Also, if you guys would just leave me comments, let me know how it's going. Obviously, trying to make this one of the best channels for you guys to learn and enjoy. So just let me know how I'm doing. And other than that, I will see you guys next video. Thanks a lot for watching.